I am known for two things: racism and filleting Payday 3. I like the game, and I make no secret of that fact. Warts and all, I really do enjoy it. I wouldn't have played it for... if not. But I have issues with it. For example, they still haven't made that techie ball crush attack yet. In all seriousness, there are things about Payday 3 that irk me quite a bit. Mechanically, aesthetically, and just in terms of general weird decisions. So, to break in the new PC after the incident, I've decided to make a shorter video talking about one of my issues. One that has become really evident recently. Since the dawn of time, there has been one thing man fears above all else. Above famine, above plague, above nuclear holocaust, there is but one thing that will make any fan of any franchise shiver. Reddit wholesome Chungus quirky writing. Okay, Payday 3 has not suffered as much as some series like Saints Row and Yakuza have, partially because even back in the day it was kind of a shitpost, but lately things have gotten a lot worse in how Payday 3 has approached its characters and tone. That's right boys, we're talking about the Palatucci crime family, the most wasted potential in anything since the day I was born. The Palatuccis were first alluded to as our next big antagonists in the First World Bank heist, a shadowy criminal organisation with ties to the bank, and, judging from Locke's dialogue, a group the gang really shouldn't want to piss off.
Joe, so much for the improved security! But it's not all sunshine and rainbows. That rumour I mentioned, word on the street is that we've pissed off some powerful people, possibly with mob connections. We're gonna have to keep an eye on that.
It's a classic setup, the scrappy criminal underdog pissing off a far greater force than they could possibly comprehend. And you know, it kind of works in the context of 3, with the gang riding high off of the shockingly easy defeat of Concord and growing a bit of an ego. So how did they fuck it up? Well, I'll tell you how. They tried too hard to be funny and forgot to make them actual antagonists. The Palatucci family are a complete joke in Payday 3. This is entirely by design, and it's friggin' baffling. Payday has never had the most complex antagonists. Most of them range from cliché to underdeveloped to, well, that. But all of them, even Concord, were treated with a certain degree of menace. Even if they were ineffectual, there was some effort to make them appear as a genuine threat to the gang. With the Palatuccis, there simply was no attempt. They exist only for bad Sopranos riffs with grim voice acting. The main offender of this is, of course, Joey Capucci, the only real character affiliated with the family that we've had any significant exposure to. And he is painfully fucking unfunny. He only exists to make gabagool references and other heinously cringeworthy attempts at 5-year-old level mafioso quips.
But I need to be fucking careful, man. The guy's a fucking prick. He's gonna shoot me. And I'm talking to myself.
Shut up! And Pietro Palatucci wasn't any goddamn better, since he's basically just a retarded frat boy obsessed with his car, bruh, who screams angrily at the gang when things don't go his way. It just feels like a case of totally misplaced priorities, given that the Palatuccis, well, they do fuck all. Throughout First World Bank, Party Powder, Delivery Charge and Shopping Spree, they just sit with their thumbs up their asses waiting for Dallas to whip out his star-spangled cock. I mean, think back to Payday 2 for a moment. We had heists like Watch Dogs, Alaskan Deal, Reservoir Dogs, Henry's Rock. Heists where the antagonists went on the offensive, and the gang had to improvise on the fly. By nature of the game's structure, they always came out successful, but Hector, the FBI, and Murky Water had moments where they could prove just how much of a threat they were. With the Palatuccis, it feels like the gang just keeps steamrolling them for 4 heists straight. What if we had a heist where the Palatuccis called the gang for a sit-down, only to betray them, forcing us to fight through hordes of goons and barely escape with our lives? What if one of the gang was taken hostage and the crew were put on the back foot, having to figure out a way to rise against the odds? Hell, hell, have the Palatucci's managed to whack one of our contractors, like Beckett or Shayu or even fucking Mac? I mean, Sheard tells us that a hit has been put out on the gang, but it amounts to literally nothing. It would have been a prime opportunity to actually show the Palatucci's doing something of consequence. Why not, at bare friggin' minimum, do what Payday 2 did, and throw in some Palatucci grunts as enemies to face during heists? Give them a little bit of presence. Just do something, anything, to show that these guys mean business, and aren't just total cartoon characters. It's so frustrating, because it had so much potential. The Cosa Nostra is one of the most fascinating organisations in the modern world. Some of the greatest films and television series of all time are based on the Mafia. But instead of mining that potential, Payday 3 just uses them for painfully unfunny memes. I mean, not even the good ones. And I can tell you a couple of free things about good Sopranos memes, whatever happened there. It's just a huge letdown. I mean, I get that the team has bigger priorities right now than storytelling. Doesn't mean I have to like it, though.
I wish there were still dinosaurs. I wish